Alright, so finally it's Tomb Kings versus Beasts of Chaos, and this will be my first ever game against Beasts in 7th edition, or ever in fact, and I'm actually getting a few, getting through a few new ones in recent times. I played Vampire Counts for the first time this tournament, and now Beasts of Chaos. Really looking forward to this because this guy's army looks very soft. There's nothing particularly tremendously harmful about it as far as I'm concerned. He's going to ambush me with a few units which don't really contain anything chariot breaking or anything like that. But let's just talk about the game. I've mainly deployed on the left-hand side of the field. So let's go from right to left. All the chariots, as you can see. Got the casket, got the scorpion, got all the infantry in the middle, carrion behind, skeleport on the hill, plenty of archers on the hill, scorpion to the left of them, and a small group of 10 archers far to the left. So yeah, this looks like a... Excuse me, looks like it's going to be a very clean little game, and we'll see how it goes. Let's go to the next photo, where we shall see his deployment. He's got warhounds on the left with centaurs, 2 chariots on either side of another unit of warhounds, plus a unit of wargors, or what do you call them, with a BSB in it. Then he's got his big skirmishing unit of gors and ungors with a level 2 shaman and a wargor general, beast lord, whatever you want to call him. Chaos Giant, 3 Minotaurs, and on the far right-hand side there's some more Warhounds. And now off the field there are another unit of dogs, Warhounds, and another 2 units of skirmishing Wargors, or whatever you call them, Ungors. Don't really remember the correct term for them, but I'm just going to call them beasts or gors, or whatever you want to use. Next picture, just a bit of a better close-up on his deployment over the side. You can see where his skirmishers are. You can see that his army is actually quite nice looking. Very feral and very sort of outlandish. I really like the look of it. He's done a great job on them. Very much care and attention to detail. Next picture, the Tomb Kings win the turn number 1, so Carrion flying out here ready to march block him later on. Scorpion just getting into position, but in the meantime just firing at him in general, missing with the Skelepult, not getting the casket off. He's too afraid of it to just let it go, so it's blocked. Next photo, you can see the chariots rolling up on the right-hand side flank, just getting ready to, just moving into range to shoot, and I'll be moving back as soon as he gets in charge range, so nothing important happening there. Next photo, the magic phase of the Tomb Kings, the carrion fly behind the forest to march block all of the nearby Beastmen, so that's pretty cool, way to start. It just gives me plenty of time to shoot at them and to cast spells. Next photo, I think it's the Beastmen turn 1. And we're seeing some movement in the middle. Not too much movement, though. I think he's just started moving them. Can't really remember too much about what happened here, but I'm just going to go to the next photo because there's not too much to see here that we haven't seen before. So the other photo here, we've got the centaurs moving to the forest, ready to sort of stand off against the scorpion, and the hounds moving around the side. The hounds are getting shot at by the archers, so they're not going to last too long. And the scorpion's threatening the centaurs, and there's a very small chance of the centaurs beating the scorpion in combat. So that's probably not going to happen. You can see there's some orcs and goblins in the background, but that's on a different table right next to us. Next photo, the Tomb Kings turn 2, just moving the chariots back, shooting at the hounds on the side, just waiting for the Beastmen to come over to my side of the table, and also waiting for the ambushes to show up, and that's when I'll be dealing with the real threat of the Beastmen. That's their little gambit they'll be using. So I'll have a plan in mind for that. Next turn, the carrion have flown back behind the skirmishing guys here, and the swarms come up into combat with the chariot, just slowing it down even further. I'm expecting him to just charge back at the carrion to kill them, to get rid of them, stop them from being march blocked. But that's what I want, because it means that it'll take him even longer to get to my side of the board. Next photo, that's indeed what he does. Takes the bait, charges the carrion. So the carrion will get wiped out. The chariot will actually get rid of the swarm, and he'll need another couple of turns to get over my side of the board. And the thing here is that he's going to be ambushing me with the rest of his guys, but I'll be able to deal with him while he's waiting for his backup to arrive from his side of the board. So that's my game plan. Next photo, his ambushes indeed arrive, a whole bunch of them behind the chariots. So I'm going to have to turn the chariots around. In the meantime, he failed his leadership checks for the other lots of guys with his other skirmishers and other dogs. So they show up closer to his side of the board rather than mine on the right-hand flank, and we'll get you more pictures of that later. But for now, this is the main threat that I have to deal with, and as you can see, the rest of his army is nowhere near the side of my board, so I should be able to deal with these guys. Here's a better photo showing you the other hounds and beastmen that showed up way on the other side of the board, so he was very unlucky with his rolls for that. and now it's going to be a matter of me trying to best him in combat with the chariots. Next picture, the king has flown over, and well, this is where the king was previous to what happens next. King has just been over here to help smite the catapult and the archer, so just getting rid of the hounds, going to start shooting at everybody else shortly. We'll see how it goes. So next picture, this is very decisive. I think we skipped a couple of photos ahead. I used all my magic over here. The king came back to the casket, used magic moves to just turn the chariots around and charge into the guys that were behind them, completely wiped them out, taking a couple of wounds in the process though, and pursuing off the board. Now I'm back on the board, and the rest of his army is drawn a lot closer to me, but things are looking pretty good because I've actually got both flanks clear. The Centaurs have run away, most of the hounds have been destroyed, the chariots aren't going to really have any trouble with the hounds over on my side over here. So yeah, Beastmen closing in, we'll see how it goes next. So next photo, just the same photo really. The Beastmen are the far side, just moving towards me a bit further. It'll take them a while to get in here, and I've got plenty of time to deal with the guys in close combat. Only things I'm really worried about are the giant and his unit with all the characters in it. If I can deal with those guys, I should have the game in the bag. Next picture, what happened here is that the Prince's unit charged the Minotaurs, destroyed them, overran, and over the far right hand side the other unit of chariots has just destroyed some more hounds. Now, made a mistake here, and this may have been a forced mistake or an unavoidable mistake. I'm now in charge range from his unit of Beastmen in the center with his characters in it, so the chariots are probably going to die, and that's 400 points worth of stuff that I'll lose. Now, my only other way of dealing with that would have been to not charge the Minotaurs, because otherwise I would have got if I just not overrun, I would have been charged by the giants. But if I didn't charge the Minotaurs, I would have had to stick back and let them come to me and eventually get into combat anyway. So I probably did the right thing, but unfortunately that happened. And by the way, Scullipult on the, or it might have been the casket, either one of the two, on the Beastmen in the far background destroyed them because they took some casualties, then took a panic test, fled off the table edge, and that netted me a whole unit in one go, so really feeling good about that. But I still have to deal with this giant, I have to deal with his main unit here, and I have to deal with the Beastmen with the BSB in it. So next photo, here's the Beastmen with the BSB charging, getting in range of me. I've done some damage to the chariot, killed one of the chariots already with a Scullipult, have to deal with the next one, and King's just waiting to use this destroyer in the middle of the archer's unit. Next photo, nice photo this, but unfortunately for me, he charged backwards here with his Beastmen into the chariots, and there's no way the chariots can win when they're not on the charge, so especially with the prince on the other side of the unit. So Beastmen just totaling me there, and the giant, all he needs to do is just keep moving forward. Next photo, this actually became a bit precarious here because he charged my archers on the hill with his chariot, wiping out a bunch of them. Then his Beastmen with the double-handed weapons charged the skeleton warriors here and really started carving things up in close combat. And I didn't have any support for a while. So let's go to the next photo. The Scorpions charged the giant, and I'm about to magic move the other chariots into the giant as well to try and take that out. But yeah, not too hopeful I can beat the giant unless I can get some decent rolls there. In the meantime, the combat's raging away over in the center. You can see the skeleton unit that took the brunt of the charge from the Beastmen there has actually been reduced to like 5 models out of 20, so I'm actually doing very, very poorly in that combat, and things are actually not going as well as I hoped they would a couple of turns ago. So next photo, just unfortunately my Tomb Guard couldn't get the flank charge on the Beastmen here, so they had to charge in the front, so that really made it harder for me to win because I now don't get to break his ranks and I don't get a +1 for flank, and he'll earn a lot of combat rest from just killing the skeletons out in the front. And he's got a war banner there, which I didn't even realize. He's got a banner, BSB, war banner there, so that's a lot of combat res that he's pinching me with. And it'll just be up to the king to get rid of the chariot and then get into the flank eventually. And let's have a quick look. In fact, I'm out of photos now, so I'll just tell you what happened for the rest of the game. The king did indeed break through and destroy the entire Beastmen unit as we expected, but I lost most of the Tomb Guard and I lost most of the skeleton warriors there. The the giant beat the Scorpion and the chariots in combat, so I lost another unit of chariots and I lost another Scorpion, but the Scullipult hit back and bopped the giant on the head with a rock and killed it. and unfortunately the Beastmen containing the characters wiped out my other chariots and finally got close enough to kill my Casket of Souls. So, although I won the game fairly convincingly, I didn't win by the massive margin that I was hoping for earlier on. And, you know, I guess it was just because I underestimated Beastmen, never played them before, and now I know, so I'll be prepared next time, just as I always am when I play a new army. So, really quite enjoyed that game. It was one of the good games of the tournament. And on to the next game, which will be part of Day 3's games. Hope you guys are enjoying these. See you next time.